This is your daily briefing, and you are most welcome to it. Bit of good news to kick us off. Some of you may be aware that a few days ago I guested on the Football Terrace, which is a live stream that goes out. It was all very pleasant, answered a few questions, about Spurs and what have you. And then there was a really awkward moment when a super chat was unleashed. Of course I couldn't keep my mouth shut. The poor man spent $4.99, asked a question, and the host said to him, sorry, I don't know about that. And I kind of, as you know, doesn't sit well with me, all this sort of pickpocketing. So it turns out that platform's owned, or part owned, or whatever the deal is, by somebody I used to work with. So put in a call, and they will be refunding the person in question and sorting out something nice for him as an apology, which is a nice way to start the day. Speaking of the way of starting your day, obviously Chelsea played Spurs last night, and the Chelsea fans couldn't resist it, and they were all singing before the kickoff, "Where the fuck is Harry Kane?" which I thought was hilarious. God knows what the away team dressing room was like, as that was ringing around the stadium. Nuno Espirito Santo. We've got to talk about him. There's a massive thing on Danny Ings and some really good stuff from Spurs. I know a lot of you think all I do is moan and bitch and whine, but they've done something exceptional here, and it might be to do with the change of press officer. Who knows? So Nuno, Charlie Eccleshare quotes the new Spurs gaffer on whether he's spoken to Harry Kane. "I expect to speak with Harry soon. I haven't had the chance yet." Well, that's peculiar because the Euros are well and truly over. And in the press conference, Nuno refused to talk directly about Kane and said, "I'm sorry, but I'm not going to talk about Harry Kane now. Let's discuss the game. Did you watch it?" If I'd have been Nuno, I would have welcomed the chance to talk about anything other than the game. And Nuno was tight-lipped. There's further quotes here, this one from the Evening Standard. "We should discuss internally, ignore any public discussion or argument about it. We have to solve the situation. First, between us, we solved the situation internally, with the club speaking and trying to reach a better solution." That, to me, stinks to high heaven, or rather, it's Nuno letting slip that there's something foul and nasty smelling with inside Tottenham Hotspur. I'm not talking about Donna Cullen sandwiches. There's clearly, this is the first admission, the first acknowledgement we've had that there's something wrong to do in relationship to Kane inside the club. And I think it would benefit everybody if we just got past all the bickering and all the moralising and all the rest of it and just said what was happening. Let's get the ball rolling. Aston Villa have signed Danny Ings, and I find that fascinating. Wasn't it Danny Ings that said that he was looking for Champions League football? Spurs have supposedly been flirting with him for God knows how long, and he's gone to the Villa. That's a player that could have done a job at Spurs, mark my words. And so, good stuff from Spurs. Tottenham confirmed via Telegraph Sport that they had launched a formal complaint with TalkSport over the broadcast of an anti-Semitic comment aimed at Daniel Levy from a member of the public. And for those of you who don't know, TalkSport have a show running which is streamed live, clearly with no delay, and the guy said something pretty abysmal. And I take a view that the TalkSport have created their own audience. I've stopped listening to it a long time ago. I tune in for Simon Jordan when I can, if I'm in the kitchen, because that's where the radio is. And but the rest of the stuff is just pretty awful. They've created that scenario, and something like this on a live stream was pretty much inevitable. And ordinarily, Tottenham can be a little bit wet when it comes to reacting to this sort of stuff. But this is absolutely first rate from Tottenham, and it doesn't leave anything in doubt. The club notes TalkSport's apology following an anti-Semitic incident on their sports bar programme on Tuesday the 3rd of August. We were appalled that neither presenter addressed the comment, failing to call out the anti-Semitic trope. We are under no doubt that if an equivalent comment had been made regarding an individual's race or other protected characteristic, the response would have been immediate and far-reaching. It cannot be acceptable that anti-Semitism does not receive the same level of condemnation as other forms of discrimination, and efforts to tackle it should be no less rigorous. That is what, my friends, is what a robust right of reply is. And TalkSport, it was shameful that the presenters didn't nip the thing in the bud. Obviously, if it's going out live, there's a limit to what they can do, but there's no limit to what they could have said. And I've got to champion Tottenham for actually really smashing into that and making it pretty clear that there's zero tolerance. Stuff like this gets me very, very, very annoyed, but I love it that Tottenham have come out and spoken in such a forthright manner. More of that, please, if you're able to. Right, that's it for the moment. A little bit shorter, hopefully a little bit sweeter. I'll speak to you soon. Good luck. Keep it Tottenham.